She thought it was just a rose on a stranger's grave. But the moment Maya set it down, the wind stopped, the ground seemed to breathe, and a billionaire emerged from the shadows behind her. "You shouldn't have done that," he said. In that instant, Maya's life split open. The grave wasn't forgotten. The man wasn't a stranger. And her simple act of kindness had just triggered a secret powerful enough to destroy every version of her that ever existed. Before we dive into the gripping details of this story, don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more thrilling stories. Rain clung to the edges of the cemetery gates as Maya Jordan stepped through, clutching a single red rose in her hand. She wasn't here for anyone she knew. She came because she understood loss, deep, aching loss, and today, for reasons she couldn't explain, she felt pulled to this forgotten corner of Restwell Memorial Park. She stopped at a headstone nearly swallowed by ivy. Elias Hartman, she read softly. No flowers. No tokens. No sign of love left behind. Maya knelt, wiped the rain from the engraved name, and set the rose against the stone. "I don't know who you were," she whispered, "but no one should lie in silence." She closed her eyes and offered a small prayer, for comfort, for peace, for the family who might be missing him, for the story she didn't know. Wind rustled the trees. Then, footsteps. Slow. Heavy. Intentional. Maya straightened, startled. When she turned around, a tall man in a dark coat stood just a few feet away. Even in the rain-muted light, she recognized him instantly. Liam Hartman. The reclusive billionaire. The man whose face lived on magazine covers but whose life remained a sealed vault. A man who hadn't been seen in public for nearly a year. His eyes were locked on the rose she had placed. "You shouldn't be here," he said hoarsely. Maya's breath caught. I'm sorry. I didn't mean." "That grave," he said, voice breaking, "belongs to my brother." Emotion flickered across his face, grief, guilt, something darker. Maya stepped back. "I didn't know. I just felt someone should leave him something." For a long, trembling moment, Liam stared at her as though she had done the impossible, reached a place no one else had touched. "You don't understand," he said, taking a step closer. "You leaving that rose, it changes everything." Maya's heartbeat thundered. "Why?" she whispered. Liam took a long breath, the kind a person takes when they're about to confess something that could shatter the world around them. "Because," he said, voice low, "Elias didn't die the way the world thinks he did. And the person who left that rose," he paused, eyes blazing with a mixture of fear and hope. "They're now in danger." Maya froze. "Danger? From who?" she asked. Liam looked over her shoulder, scanning the cemetery as the rain suddenly fell harder, like a warning. When he met her eyes again, his face had gone pale. "From the people," he whispered, "who just arrived behind you." Maya turned, slowly, breath trembling, and what she saw made the rose slip from her fingers. Maya's breath hitched as she turned toward the sound behind her. Two men stood at the far end of the path. Black coats. Black umbrellas. Faces shadowed, but unmistakably watching her. They weren't visiting graves. They weren't mourning. They were waiting. Liam stepped forward, placing himself between Maya and the strangers. His voice dropped to a sharp whisper. "Don't stare at them. Don't run. Just walk with me." Maya's pulse hammered. "Liam, what is happening?" He didn't answer. "Not yet." Instead, he gently touched her elbow. "Trust me for 30 seconds. Then I'll explain everything." His tone carried a weight she couldn't ignore. They began walking toward the main path, rain drumming against the earth. The men didn't follow, but their heads turned, tracking the pair with eerie precision. When Maya and Liam reached the older section of the cemetery, Liam finally released a breath he'd been holding. "They weren't supposed to find me today," he muttered. "Or you. Why would they be looking for me? I don't even know Elias." Liam stopped beneath a gnarled oak tree, checked over his shoulder, then looked at her with raw intensity. "There's something you should understand about my brother's death." Rain streaked down his face, but the grief in his eyes wasn't from the storm. "Elias didn't die in an accident, Maya. He died protecting someone. A witness." "A witness to what?" "A crime my family has spent years trying to bury." Maya stared at him, stunned. "Your family? Why would they?" He cut her off, voice dropping to a whisper. "The people following us work for my father." Her stomach twisted. "Why would your own father care that I left a rose?" Liam hesitated, like he was fighting with himself, deciding whether to reveal the truth. "Because that rose," he said quietly, "means you've already been seen. And once they think you're connected to Elias..." His jaw tightened. "They won't let you walk away." A cold gust of wind whipped through the cemetery, sending shivers down Maya's spine. "Liam," she whispered, "what do they believe I know?" He looked at her with something like fear, and something like guilt. "They think," he said slowly, "that you're the second witness." Maya swallowed hard. "But I'm not. I don't know anything." Liam shook his head. "It doesn't matter. All they need is to believe you do." Maya took a shaky step back. "So what do I do?" Liam reached out, gripping her arm, his whisper fierce and urgent. "Come with me now. I can keep you safe. But once you choose this path, there's no going back." The rain quieted. The cemetery grew still, unusually still. Maya searched Liam's eyes, trying to understand the storm behind them. "Why me?" she breathed. "Why does leaving one flower change anything?" Liam looked at the ground, then at the forgotten grave. "Because," he said softly, "Elias left something behind, something meant for the one person brave enough to honor him." He met her gaze again. "And that person was you." Maya's heart pounded. "What did he leave?" Liam opened his mouth to answer. But before a sound escaped, the sharp crack of a twig echoed behind them. Maya spun around. The two men in black were no longer at the far end of the cemetery. They were only yards away, walking straight toward her. Liam's expression hardened. "It's too late," he whispered. "They've made their move." Maya's breath caught. "What do we do now?" Liam's eyes burned with resolve. "Run." Maya didn't think, her legs moved before her mind caught up. Gravel scattered beneath her shoes as she sprinted between tombstones, the rain slicking the path. Behind her, she heard Liam shout. "Stay low. Don't go toward the gate." Why not the gate? It was the only exit she could see, but something in his voice made her obey. She veered left, heart battering her ribs, slipping behind an angel statue streaked with moss. Liam caught up beside her, chest heaving. "They have people at the gate," he said between breaths. "This isn't a warning. This is an extraction." Maya swallowed hard. "Extraction for who, me or you?" Liam didn't answer. Somewhere behind them, the men in black split up, one heading right, the other left, pincering the cemetery row by row. "We need to move," Liam whispered. "There's an old chapel on the south side. It has a service tunnel beneath it." Maya stared. "How do you know that?" Liam gave a humorless, breathless laugh. "Because my family used to hide things there." "Things like what?" He didn't get a chance to answer. A beam of light sliced across the headstones, an intense white glare scanning the darkness. "They brought flashlights," Maya whispered. "No," Liam said grimly. "That isn't a flashlight." A thin red dot landed on the headstone an inch from Maya's shoulder. Her stomach dropped. "Is that a targeting laser?" Liam finished. "Move." They bolted. Maya didn't feel her legs, she only felt the fierce, primal instinct to survive. Rain plastered her hair to her face, lightning cracked open the sky. Through the storm, the small stone chapel came into view, crumbling, forgotten, leaning slightly like it had been tired for years. Liam grabbed her hand. "Almost there." But before they reached the steps, a shadow separated itself from the darkness. A third man. Blocking the entrance. Maya skidded to a halt, panting. He wasn't dressed like the others. No umbrella. No coat. Just a soaked suit and an expression as cold as January steel. "Liam," the man said calmly. "You know the rules." Liam stepped in front of Maya. "She has nothing to do with this." "She does now." The man tilted his head. "Your father wants to speak with her." Maya's pulse spiked. "Your father? Why?" "I don't even know." "You will," the man interrupted quietly. "He's been waiting a long time." Lightning illuminated his face, sharp jaw, dead eyes, a faint scar across his cheek. "Come with me," he said. "Both of you. You're only making this harder." Liam clenched his fists. "You're not taking her." For the first time, the man's expression changed, just a flicker, but enough to reveal surprise. "You'd defy him? For her?" Liam said nothing. But the answer was written all over him. The man exhaled slowly. "Then I suppose this is the part," he said, "where you learn the truth." Maya felt Liam shift closer to her, protective. "What truth?" she asked. The man stepped forward, rain dripping from his hair. "The truth," he said softly, "about why Elias died, and why he saved you." Maya's breath froze in her chest. "Saved me?" she whispered. "But I never met him." The man gave her a long, unreadable look. "Are you sure about that?" Maya's heartbeat thundered. "What do you mean?" The man smiled, a small, chilling curve of his lips. "Ask Liam," he said. "He knows." Maya turned to Liam, stunned. Hurt. Confused. "Liam? What is he talking about?" Liam's eyes dropped to the ground. His voice was barely a whisper. "Maya, there's something I should have told you a long time ago." Before he could finish, headlights blasted across the graves, a black SUV screeching to a stop at the cemetery entrance and doors flying open. More men. More shadows. More danger. The man in the suit stepped back, eyes narrowing. "We're out of time," he said. "Choose, Liam." Liam grabbed Maya's hand. "Maya," he said urgently, voice cracking, "whatever happens next, promise me you won't trust A deafening boom erupted behind them as the chapel door blew open, showering the ground with splinters. Maya screamed. Liam pulled her down. Smoke filled the air. And out of that smoke, a silhouette appeared. Tall. Broad. Striding toward them with deliberate purpose. The suited man paled. Liam's eyes went wide. Maya looked between them, terrified. "Who is that?" she whispered. No one answered. Not yet. The smoke poured from the chapel doorway like a living thing, dark, swirling, swallowing the lantern glow and the rain alike. Maya coughed, blinking through the haze. A figure stepped out. First the boots. Then the outline of a long coat. Then a face, still hidden in shadow, but unmistakably confident, unhurried, dangerous. The suited man who had blocked them before stiffened, every muscle going rigid. "No," he breathed. "He's not supposed to be here." Liam's hand tightened around Maya's until she almost winced. "Stay behind me," he whispered. The figure descended the chapel steps with grim purpose, unbothered by the burning debris around him. When he finally spoke, his voice rolled out like low thunder. "Step away from the girl." The suited man shook his head. "You can't interfere. You know that." "I'm done following orders," the man in the coat replied. "It ends tonight." Maya felt the tension snap through the air like live wire. "Who is that?" she whispered to Liam. Liam swallowed hard. "Someone my father fears more than anyone." The suited man took a step back, rain dripping off his chin. "You're making a mistake," he warned. "If you take her, you sign your own death sentence." "Funny," the stranger said, moving closer, "that's exactly what your father told me the night he ordered Elias killed." Maya's blood ran cold. The suited man glared. "You were never supposed to learn the truth." "And yet," the stranger said quietly, "here we are." Thunder cracked overhead. The cemetery lights flickered. Maya's voice trembled. "What does any of this have to do with me?" The stranger's gaze swept to her, sharp, assessing, almost familiar. "Maya Jordan," he said softly, "daughter of Angela Jordan." Maya froze. Her mother's name hit her like a physical blow. The suited man's eyes widened. "Don't you dare." But the stranger ignored him. "You've been kept in the dark your whole life," he said, "but your mother wasn't just in the wrong place at the wrong time." Liam stiffened beside her. "Maya," he said urgently, "you don't have to listen to him." "Yes," the stranger interrupted, "she does." The rain fell harder, drumming like warning bells. "Your mother," the stranger continued, "tried to expose Hartman Industries for what they really are. Elias helped her. But she disappeared before she could deliver the evidence." Maya's heartbeat slammed in her ears. "My mother died in a car accident," she said. "Everyone knows that." The stranger stepped closer, eyes dark with something like regret. "That's what they wanted you to believe." Maya staggered back, breath ripping from her lungs. Liam caught her arm. "Maya, listen." But she shook him off, her voice breaking. "Did you know about this?" Liam's face twisted with pain. "I wanted to tell you. I tried. I swear, I tried." The suited man lifted a hand, signaling to the shadows behind him. More figures emerged. Armed. Advancing. "This reunion is over," he snapped. "Hand the girl over." The stranger laughed, a cold, humorless sound. "You can't win this," the suited man warned. I don't need to win, the stranger said. I just need to get her out. Before anyone could move, he reached into his coat and tossed something at Maya. She caught it instinctively. A small, metal key. Old. Heavy. Etched with a symbol she didn't recognize. Her breath hitched. What is this? The stranger squared his shoulders. Your mother's last message, he said. Elias died trying to protect it. The suited man roared, take them. Suddenly the cemetery exploded with movement, footsteps pounding, shouts cutting through the storm, Liam pulling Maya toward the trees. But the stranger didn't run. He stepped forward to meet the attackers head-on. Go, he barked. I'll hold them off. Maya hesitated, gripping the key so tight it dug into her palm. Wait, she cried. Who are you? The stranger turned toward her at last, lightning illuminating his face. And Maya's world tilted. She recognized him. She knew him. But she didn't understand how, not yet. His voice was calm, steady, devastating. I'm the reason they've been watching you, Maya. A beat. And I'm the reason your mother died. Maya's breath shattered. Liam yanked her into the trees as the stranger charged into the storm. And the cemetery erupted behind them. Branches slapped against Maya's arms as Liam pulled her into the trees, their footsteps sinking into mud. Behind them, the cemetery had become chaos, shouts, impacts, a violent storm of shadows colliding. But Maya couldn't stop replaying the stranger's last words. I'm the reason your mother died. Her lungs burned, her legs trembling, but she forced herself to keep running. Liam, she gasped, who is he? Liam didn't answer. Not because he wouldn't, but because he couldn't get the words out. His jaw was clenched so tight she could see it even in the dark. They broke through the tree-line into a clearing behind the chapel ruins. Lightning tore the sky open, illuminating a narrow stone foundation, half-buried, cracked, ancient. This way, Liam said. The tunnel entrance is beneath that slab. Maya stared at the moss-covered stone. We're just going underground? With them behind us? It's the only way out. The tunnels connect to the catacombs beneath the old district. Maya's pulse hammered. And then what? They'll follow us. No, Liam said softly. Not if he keeps them busy. The stranger. Maya's throat tightened. She still felt the weight of the key in her hand, her mother's key. Liam, she whispered, why did he say he caused my mother's death? Liam closed his eyes for just a moment. Rain streamed down his face. Because, he said quietly, in a way, he did. The answer only made her stomach twist harder. Before she could press him again, he knelt, bracing both hands against the stone slab. Muscle straining, he shoved it sideways, revealing a dark, narrow stairway leading underground. A distant gunshot cracked through the storm. Maya flinched. We can't just leave him to fight alone. Liam looked up at her, his expression raw and conflicted. He wouldn't want you to stay. But you know him, she insisted. You know him, Liam. Who is he to you? Liam hesitated. Thunder rolled overhead. Finally, he stood, rain dripping from his hair, and said the words she didn't expect. He's my older brother. Maya froze. Your brother? But you said Elias. He's not Elias, Liam cut in, voice tight. Elias was my father's son. The man protecting us, he's my mother's son. Maya stared at him, stunned. You have a half-brother? 2 half-brothers, Liam said bitterly. One my father claimed. One he tried to erase. Everything inside Maya swirled into a nauseating storm. And he blamed himself for your mother, she whispered. Liam nodded once. He was the one who convinced her to expose my father. He believed she'd be safe under Elias's protection. He was wrong. Maya's heart twisted painfully. Another gunshot cracked the air, closer. Liam looked toward the cemetery, his face tightening with fear. We have to go. Now. Maya. The shout wasn't Liam's. It came from the trees. Maya spun. The suited man was charging toward them through the clearing, alone, soaked, furious. He's down, the man shouted. Your little guardian, he's down. Maya's heart dropped. No, she whispered. Liam stepped in front of her, fists clenched. You're lying. The man smiled, thin, cold, triumphant. Your brother lasted longer than I expected. But he's bleeding out on the chapel steps. Maya felt her knees weaken. The suited man continued advancing. And now I want the girl. Lightning flashed again, and the man wasn't alone. More figures emerged behind him. 5. 6. Armed. Closing in fast. Liam grabbed Maya's wrist. Down the tunnel. Go. But Maya couldn't move. Her feet felt rooted. Her mind too full. Her heart, breaking. My mom, she whispered. The key, the truth. I don't even know what any of it means. Liam cupped her face, urgent and desperate. Maya, please. If they take you, everything your mother died for will be lost. Tears blurred her vision. But your brother. He saved you once, Liam said. He'd want you to survive. The suited man was almost upon them. Maya backed toward the staircase. Liam gave her one final push. Go. She stumbled down the steps into darkness as Liam heaved the stone slab back over the entrance. But the last thing she heard before the world went black was the suited man's voice, cold and echoing above her. Liam, you didn't tell her the most important part. A pause. Tell her the truth, about who she really is. The slab slammed shut, plunging Maya into the tunnels. And in the suffocating darkness, her fingers closed around the key. The key that once belonged to a mother she never truly knew. And that a dying stranger fought to deliver. The darkness swallowed Maya whole. Cold, damp air rushed around her as the stone slab thudded shut above, sealing her away from the storm, and from Liam. Liam, she shouted, slamming her palms against the underside of the slab. Her voice echoed, swallowed by the tunnels. No answer. Just muffled chaos above, then silence. Her breath shook. The key trembled in her hand. A single thought pulsed in her mind. Who I really am. The suited man's words gnawed at her like teeth in the dark. Maya forced herself to turn away from the sealed entrance. The tunnel stretched ahead, narrow, uneven stone walls, slick with time and moss. Somewhere far off, water dripped steadily, the sound rhythmic and eerie. She swallowed hard and took a step forward. Then another. Then. A faint glow flickered ahead. Maya froze. The tunnels had no electricity. No lanterns. Nothing. And yet, there it was. A small, wavering orange light, just around the bend. "Hello?" she called softly. "Is someone?" Her voice died in her throat. Because the light moved. Not randomly. Not drifting. It shifted, deliberately. Purposefully. Like someone was holding it. Maya's heartbeat thundered. She pressed herself against the wall, trying to steady her breathing. The footsteps came next. Soft. Barely audible. But coming closer. Step. 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 Maya searched for anything at all, to use as a weapon. Her fingers closed around a shard of broken stone near her foot. She clutched it tight. The light grew brighter. Footsteps nearer. Then, a voice. "Don't be afraid, Maya." She jolted so hard the stone nearly slipped from her hand. The voice was warm. Familiar. Too familiar. Her mind scrambled. It couldn't be. She stepped forward cautiously, heart pounding, and the figure holding the lantern finally came into view. A woman. Tall. Graceful. Hair pulled back. Eyes gentle and brown, so much like Maya's own. Clothes slightly out of time, a soft blouse and slacks she remembered from old photographs. The lantern cast a warm glow across her face, illuminating a smile Maya hadn't seen since she wore pigtails and scraped knees. "No," Maya whispered, breath breaking. This isn't real." "You." Her mother smiled wider. "You've grown so much." Maya stumbled back, tears blurring her vision. "You're dead." "I saw the reports, I saw." Angela Jordan stepped forward, lantern steady. "Reports can lie, sweetheart. But a mother's voice can't." Maya's mind raced. This wasn't possible. It wasn't rational. It wasn't. A sudden boom echoed above, the sound of another explosion. Dust rained from the tunnel ceiling. Angela's expression shifted. "We don't have much time." Maya shook her head violently. No, because you're not here. You can't be, unless Liam's father faked everything. Unless the accident was staged. Unless her mother had been in hiding, for years. Angela seemed to read the fear on her face. "I'm real," she said gently. "And I've been waiting a very long time for you to find that key." The key in Maya's hand burned ice cold. Maya looked down at it, then up at the woman who bore her face, her voice, her mannerisms. Her throat tightened. "Mama," she whispered. Angela smiled sadly. "My brave girl." Maya's knees nearly buckled. 100 emotions crashed over her: relief, grief, anger, longing, confusion. "I don't understand," Maya choked. "They said you died." "They said." Angela moved closer, voice softening. "They had to." Her expression darkened. "Because if they hadn't, I would have exposed everything." Maya's breath trembled. "Everything about Hartman Industries? About Elias?" Angela nodded slowly. "And everything about you." Maya's heart lurched. "About me? What about me?" Angela reached out, hesitated, then gently touched her daughter's cheek. "You deserve the truth," she whispered. "All of it." Before Maya could speak again, a deep metallic clang echoed from somewhere far behind them in the tunnel. The sound of a door opening. Heavy boots thudded against the stone floor. Someone had entered the tunnels. Angela stiffened. They found the old passage, she whispered urgently. They're coming. Maya's pulse spiked. She turned to run. But Angela grabbed her wrist. Maya, listen to me. Her voice was no longer soft. It was fierce. Terrified. You cannot let them catch you. Not with that key. Why? What does it open? Maya demanded. Angela looked her straight in the eyes. It opens the truth about your father. Maya froze. My father? Angela's grip tightened. You weren't supposed to grow up not knowing. You weren't supposed to be dragged into this. But now. Bootsteps echoed louder. Angela's breath hitched. Now there is no turning back. Maya swallowed, shaken. Mom, who is my father? Angela opened her mouth. But the lantern's flames suddenly blew out. Darkness swallowed them. And from the shadows behind Maya, a low voice murmured. I'll tell her. Maya spun, heart slamming against her ribs. She knew that voice. She recognized it instantly. As the torchlight from the pursuers flickered around the bend, the silhouette stepped forward. Broad shoulders, long coat, wounded but still standing. Her protector. Liam's half-brother. The man who'd just claimed to be the reason her mother died. He wiped blood from his forehead and stared at Angela. We finish this now, he said. Angela's expression hardened, fear, fury, and resignation all at once. Maya, she whispered, whatever happens next, remember that I love you. Maya shook, voice breaking. What's happening? Who is he to me? The stranger looked at her with eyes that held too much familiarity. Maya, his voice cracked. You deserve the truth. He stepped closer. I'm not just Liam's brother. A beat. I'm your brother too. Maya's world fractured. Her breath stopped. Angela closed her eyes. And far down the tunnel, the men chasing them broke into a run. Everything inside Maya went silent. Her breath. Her heartbeat. Her thoughts. Just silence. Then, no, she whispered. No. That's not possible. The man, bleeding, battered, eyes fierce and hauntingly familiar, didn't flinch. It's the truth, he said quietly. I'm your brother. Angela's lantern flickered back to life, not by flame, but by some hidden spark its old wiring still carried. In its trembling glow, the truth carved itself into Maya's mind. The shape of his jaw. The angle of his brows. The faint dimple that appeared when he clenched his teeth, the same one Maya saw in the mirror. How, Maya choked. How could I have a brother I never knew existed? Angela stepped forward, voice thick with regret. Because I had to protect you. I had to protect both of you. Her brother, a man without name, still shadowed by violence and grief, looked away, jaw clenching. We were separated, he muttered. Before you were born. Maya's voice shook. Separated by who? Angela didn't answer. Because she didn't have to. Maya already knew. Hartman, Maya whispered. Their father. Footsteps echoed sharply down the tunnel again, louder, faster. Maya's brother stiffened. They're almost here. Angela grabbed Maya's shoulders, eyes fierce. You must listen. Everything depends on this. Maya nodded weakly. Angela continued, voice urgent. You were never supposed to be dragged into the Hartman War. When I went after them, I knew the risk. I knew they'd do anything to silence the truth, including targeting the people I loved. Her voice wavered. That's why I hid your brother. Why I faked my death. Why I kept you away from all of this. Maya's throat closed. She could barely breathe. So I've been living a lie, she whispered. Angela cupped her face. No. You've been living free. The boots thundered again. The pursuers were close enough now to see faint beams of their flashlights bouncing on the walls. Maya's brother stepped between them and the approaching danger. We need to move. Now. Angela's hand stayed on her daughter's cheek a second longer. That key, she whispered, is the last piece of evidence your mother and Elias protected. It proves everything, about Hartman Industries. About the cover-ups. About your parentage. Maya's breath caught. My parentage? Angela nodded. And that is why they want it, and you. Before Maya could respond, the first flashlight beam swept across the tunnel. There, a voice shouted. Don't let them escape. Her brother moved fast, pushing Maya and Angela behind a thick stone column as bullets ricocheted off the walls. The tunnels filled with deafening noise, screams, gunshots, echoing metal. Her brother shouted over the chaos. Maya. Listen to me. She peeked out from behind the column, shaking. If they catch you, he said, firing a shot down the tunnel, they'll force the truth out of you by any means necessary. Maya yelled back, I don't even know the truth. His voice rose with raw emotion. That's why you have to survive long enough to learn it. Angela grabbed Maya's hand. We can't stay here. Her brother nodded sharply. Take her to the chamber. Angela froze. No. Absolutely not. She needs answers, he hissed. And that's the only place she'll get them. Flashlights danced closer, shouts echoing through the passage. Her mother turned to Maya, fear cracking through her calm facade. The chamber, she whispered, is where everything began. Maya's pulse throbbed in her ears. Where what began? Angela squeezed her hand. Your story, she said softly. Your birth. The truth I tried to bury, and the truth that could destroy the Hartmans forever. Her brother shouted. They're flanking. Move. Angela pulled Maya toward a side corridor Maya hadn't noticed, half collapsed, nearly hidden. Maya stumbled as rubble shifted beneath her feet. Her brother covered them, barking. I'll hold them back. Go. Angela turned sharply. Don't you dare die on me again. A faint, ironic smile crossed his bruised face. I'll try. Then he shoved a fallen metal grate into place, a temporary barrier, and sprinted toward the gunfire. Maya screamed, wait. But Angela dragged her deeper into the dark passage. Mama, no, he's hurt, he's. We don't have time. Angela cried. The corridor sloped downward sharply. Stone steps. Ancient roots. A faint hum in the air. The temperature dropped. Finally, they reached the bottom. Angela pushed aside a rotting wooden door and revealed a chamber lit by an eerie blue glow, pulsing like a heartbeat. Maya's breath hitched. What is this place? Angela stepped inside, eyes haunted. This is where they kept you before I escaped with you. Maya froze. Kept me? Angela swallowed hard. Yes. Before you were born, they built this place. A secret research chamber. A lab. Her voice broke. You were supposed to be a weapon. The blue glow intensified, reflecting in Maya's eyes. Me? Maya whispered. Why me? Angela turned to her, tears streaming down her cheeks. Because your father isn't who you think he is. Maya stepped backward, shaking violently. Who is my father? Angela opened her mouth. And the chamber door slammed shut behind them. Someone else was in the room. A shadow stepped out from behind one of the old machines. A man's voice, calm, cold, unmistakably powerful, filled the chamber. I am. Maya spun around. And stared into the eyes of a man she had seen before. On newspapers. On screens. Standing beside Liam. Liam Hartman Sr. Her mother froze. Her face drained of color. No, Angela whispered. You weren't supposed to find us. Liam Hartman Sr. stepped closer, smiling faintly. Maya, my dear, he said softly, almost lovingly. You've finally come home. Maya's blood turned to ice. Her voice trembled. You're my father. He smiled wider. And everything inside Maya shattered. The world tilted. The air disappeared. Maya felt herself folding inward, as if her body were shrinking around a single impossible truth. Liam Hartman Sr. her father. No, Maya whispered, backing away until her shoulders hit cold stone. That's not true. It can't. Angela lunged between them, fury blazing in her eyes. Don't listen to him. Maya, don't you even look at him. Hartman Sr.'s expression softened with something eerily like pity. Angela, you still misunderstand. He clasped his hands behind his back. I didn't come here to harm her. Angela spat, you came to own her. He smiled faintly. Omnipotence is not ownership. It's responsibility. Maya's hands trembled around the key, her mother's key, the very thing Hartman Sr. had spent decades hunting. Angela stepped forward, blocking his view of her daughter. You're not touching her, Angela snapped. I won't let you rewrite her the way you rewrote your sons. Hartman Sr. exhaled slowly, as if disappointed. Ah. My sons. He shook his head as though correcting a child. You mean Liam, and the other one? Maya's voice cracked. Her mind had barely begun to process that she had brothers, too, and now the man who orchestrated everything stood before her like a living nightmare. How many lives did you destroy to hide me? Maya demanded, voice shaking. Why me? Why was I worth all of this? Worth? Hartman Sr. repeated softly. My dear girl, you weren't worth destroying. He stepped closer, his shadow swallowing the blue glow. You were worth creating. Angela stiffened. Don't you dare. But Hartman continued, voice low, reverent. You are the culmination of everything I built. Everything I engineered. And everything I lost. His eyes locked onto Maya's. You were never an accident, Maya. You were designed. Designed. The word sliced through Maya like a blade. Angela tried to grab her daughter's hands, but Maya pulled away, breath ragged. Designed for what? Maya whispered. Hartman's smile didn't reach his eyes. For greatness. For leadership. For the future this world is too afraid to build. He took another step forward. You carry the perfect combination of traits, mine and your mother's. Intelligence. Strength. Resilience. Loyalty. I chose Angela because she was the only woman capable of producing a child who could. Angela snapped. I wasn't a breeding project. Her voice cracked through the chamber like thunder. You forced me into that lab. You took pieces of me, of you, of others and you. Angela, Hartman cut in sharply, your memories of that time were blurred. You were in distress. I wasn't distressed, Angela screamed. I was trapped. Maya felt everything inside her collapsing. You said you loved her, Maya whispered to Hartman. You said you loved my mother. Hartman nodded. And I do, in my own way. Angela looked ready to tear him apart with her bare hands. You don't love anyone, she seethed. You only love power. Hartman ignored her. His eyes never left Maya. And Maya, you have more power than you know. The hum in the chamber grew louder, vibrating through the floor beneath her feet. Machines flickered to life, long dormant monitors blinking awake at her presence. The room responded to her. Hartman smiled softly. You see? Even the chamber remembers you. Angela stepped in front of her daughter, trembling. Stop it. Stop it. She is not yours. Hartman finally lost his calm. Yes, she is. His voice boomed, reverberating through the stone walls. She was born in my facility. Carried by you, yes, but created by me. She carries my blood, my genes, my heart. Angela shouted. My soul. My child. Mine. Her voice cracked into a sob. She's not your weapon. The machines dimmed. Maya stood frozen, tears streaming silently down her cheeks. You stole everything from me, she whispered to Hartman. My mother. My brothers. My life. My truth. Hartman blinked slowly. Truth, he said, almost amused, is a luxury for the powerless. Angela lunged like she might attack him. But he lifted a hand. And from behind him, a soft click echoed. The chamber door had unlocked. Someone was on the other side. Not one person. A group. Maya's blood ran cold as the door began to creak open. Hartman stepped back with a satisfied hum. Ah, he murmured. Right on time. The door swung open. And Maya's breath caught. She recognized the first figure stepping in. Tall. Disheveled. Bleeding. But unmistakably alive. Her brother. He stumbled forward, bracing a hand against the wall. Don't trust him, he growled. Maya, don't. But behind him. Shadows moved. Someone shoved him aside. And stepped into the chamber. Maya's heart stopped. It was Liam. Not the father. The son. And his face was not the face of the man who had run with her through the cemetery. It was cold. Empty. Almost resigned. Angela whispered, horrified. No. Liam, not you, please, not you. Maya's voice trembled. Liam. What are you doing here? Liam looked at her, not with fear. Not with guilt. With sorrow. I'm sorry, Maya, he said softly. Then he looked at Hartman Sr. and said, Father. I brought her. Maya felt the world collapse around her. As Liam stepped aside and more Hartman operatives flooded into the chamber. Her mother gasped. Her wounded brother groaned in defeat. And Hartman Sr. smiled. Slow, triumphant. Welcome home, daughter. Maya couldn't breathe. The chamber walls felt like they were narrowing, shrinking, pressing in on her from all sides. Liam. The Liam who ran with her. Protected her. Held her hand when danger closed in. That same Liam now stood beside Hartman Sr. head bowed. Face pale. Eyes full of something she didn't understand. Liam, Maya whispered, voice cracking, why? He didn't answer. Her wounded brother, still clinging to the wall, lifted his head, fury in his eyes. You idiot, he growled at Liam. You think he'll spare you? After everything he's done to all of us? Liam's jaw clenched. But he didn't look away. Hartman Sr. raised a hand, not threateningly, but with an air of calm superiority. Enough, he said. This is a moment for clarity. For truth. For family. Angela stepped protectively in front of Maya, trembling. You don't get to use that word, she spat. You don't get to pretend family means anything to you. Hartman's gaze did not shift. It means everything, he said. Which is why I'm giving Maya a choice. Maya felt Angela freeze beside her. Her wounded brother pushed himself upright, wincing but defiant. Maya, he rasped, don't listen. Hartman gestured sharply, and two operatives seized him, forcing him to his knees. He struggled but was too injured to fight. Let him go. Maya cried. Hartman ignored her. In this chamber, he said calmly, you were created with purpose. With intention. His eyes gleamed. You are my legacy, Maya. Not Liam. Not his brother. You. Angela lurched forward, voice breaking. You are not his legacy, you are mine. Hartman's tone sharpened. You raised her in fear. In ignorance. She deserves to know what she is capable of. Maya's pulse hammered so hard the room seemed to pulse with it. What I'm capable of, she whispered. What does that even mean? Hartman spread his arms, turning her attention to the glowing machines around them. Every system here responds to you. Your DNA. Your presence. You were engineered for extraordinary potential. Your mind, your resilience, your instincts. Maya shook her head violently. No. I'm not a project. I'm not a weapon. I'm not. You are so much more, Hartman said, voice low and fervent. And I want you to choose your own path. He stepped aside, and the operatives parted, revealing a glass console at the center of the room. Two glowing pedestals. One blue. One red. Two futures, Hartman said. Angela's face blanched. No. Maya, don't go near it. Her brother groaned, shaking his head. He's lying. Maya, he's. Hartman raised a hand and the room fell silent. The blue path, he said, connects you to everything I built, my resources, my power, your true inheritance. You will become the new face of the Hartman Empire. No more hiding. No more running. Everything you've been denied will be yours. Angela's grip tightened on Maya's arm. Don't listen. The red path, Hartman continued, erases your lineage. Your connection to me. To all of this. You walk away free. No more pursuit. No more danger. Maya's breath caught. Free? Angela's eyes flickered with desperate hope. Maya, that's the path we always wanted. You and me. A life without them. But Hartman wasn't finished. However, he said, voice deepening, choosing the red path has one consequence. Maya stiffened. Hartman looked at her wounded brother. At the moment the red sequence activates, he said, everyone with my DNA link to you will be severed. Maya's confusion twisted into dread. Severed, how? Hartman clasped his hands behind his back. They will no longer exist. Angela gasped. Her brother's eyes widened in horror. What, Maya whispered, no longer exist? Hartman spoke calmly, clinically. The severance technology was created for protection. If an heir rejects their lineage, the chain collapses. He paused. It will kill your brothers. Both of them. Maya staggered. No, that's twisted. You can't. Angela screamed, you monster. Hartman continued as if commenting on the weather. The blue path preserves them. The red path destroys them. Maya looked from Liam, ashen, silent, to the brother who was bleeding because he tried to save her. She looked at her mother, terrified, trembling, and at the key in her hand. Maya, her wounded brother rasped, don't choose blue, because of us. Angela shook her head furiously. No. Choose your freedom. Choose red. I'll protect you. I'll protect all of us. Maya, choose life. Hartman smiled faintly. Choose destiny. Maya's body trembled uncontrollably. Two paths. Two colors. Two futures. Either she walked away from this nightmare, or she embraced the legacy she never asked for. Either she saved her brothers, or chose her own soul. The chamber hummed, the lights intensifying. The pedestals glowed brighter. And all three voices, Angela's, her brother's, Hartman's, called out to her at once. Maya. 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 Her heart pounded. Her hand lifted. She took a step toward the pedestals. And the chamber door suddenly exploded inward. Everyone spun in shock as dust and debris filled the room. Through the smoke, a silhouette appeared. Tall. Broad. Familiar. Someone who wasn't supposed to be alive. Someone Maya had trusted. Someone she had lost. He stepped into the chamber. And Maya's breath stopped altogether. Maya, step away from the machine. Liam. The real Liam. Not the one beside Hartman Sr., not the one who betrayed her. Her Liam. Alive. Bruised. Shaking. But standing. And the look in his eyes wasn't sorrow. It was fire. For a moment, no one moved. Even the machine stopped humming, as if the chamber itself inhaled in shock. Maya stared at the man in the doorway, the man she thought she'd lost in that underground tunnel, the man who'd held her hand and told her to run, the man who'd thrown himself into danger to protect her. Her Liam. Alive. Not a shadow. Not an illusion. Not a trick. Alive. Liam. Maya whispered, barely breathing. He stepped forward, limping, blood smeared across his jaw, his clothes torn. But his eyes, those storm-blue eyes, were steady and full of fire. Maya, he repeated, voice hoarse but fierce, step away from the machine. Hartman Sr. slowly turned, surprise flickering across his face for the first time. Well, Hartman murmured, this is unexpected. The Liam standing beside Hartman Sr., the one who'd betrayed her, stiffened, eyes wide in confusion and fear. Angela grabbed Maya's hand, gripping it so tight it hurt. Her brother, still held down by operatives, stared at the newcomer with disbelief. This isn't possible, Hartman Sr. said, though his tone wavered for the first time. You shouldn't be moving, let alone. Yeah, Liam growled, you underestimated me. Again. The traitor Liam, Hartman's Liam, finally found his voice. You weren't supposed to survive, he shouted, voice cracking. Father said. But real Liam didn't even look at him. His eyes were locked on Maya. Maya, he said again, stepping toward her, you don't have to choose anything they put in front of you. Hartman snapped his fingers. The operatives tightened their grip on Maya's brother and moved toward Liam. Angela gasped. Maya stepped forward instinctively. Stop, Liam barked. And to everyone's shock, half the operatives hesitated. Not because of fear. Because Liam, real Liam, was wearing a cracked security band on his wrist, glowing faintly. A master override band. Angela covered her mouth, stunned. You stole a command band, she whispered. Liam shrugged weakly. Borrowed. But Hartman Sr. wasn't impressed. You always were troublesome, Hartman sighed. A defective conscience. An unpredictable variable. Liam's jaw tightened. That's funny, he said. You call it a defect. Maya calls it being human. Hartman's eyes narrowed. She doesn't know what she is. She knows enough, Liam shot back. She knows she's not yours. The chamber crackled with tension. Hartman waved a hand at the machines. You don't understand, boy. She was engineered to lead. Her mind, her resilience, she is something the world has never. She is a person, Liam snarled. Not a project. Not an experiment. Not a legacy. Maya's throat tightened. Liam finally turned his gaze to her, softening instantly. Maya, you don't have to pick a color. You don't have to accept his future or destroy your brothers to escape it. He stepped closer. You can choose a third path. Your own path. Hartman scoffed. Romantic nonsense. But Maya wasn't listening to Hartman anymore. She was staring at Liam. The real Liam. The one who had come back for her, injured and outnumbered, because he refused to let her face this alone. But how? Maya whispered, voice shaking. Hartman controls everything in here. Not everything, Liam said. He lifted his wrist, revealing the cracked band. I only need a few seconds of override access. If you trust me, I can disable the entire chamber. Hartman's face twisted, realizing too late. No. No. Liam called out over the chaos. Maya, choose me. Her heart slammed against her ribs. Across the room, Angela was crying, shaking her head. Her wounded brother was begging her to run. Hartman Sr. was shouting orders. The traitor Liam was breaking down, screaming at his father. Operatives were moving in. The machines were growing louder, trembling with energy. And in the center of it all, the pedestals glowed, waiting for her. Blue. Red. Two futures. Two worlds. Two imprisonments. Maya lifted her trembling hand. And instead of stepping toward the pedestals, she turned toward Liam. Her Liam. Their eyes locked. She took a breath. A single, shaking, life-changing breath. "I trust you," she whispered. Liam's expression cracked, hope, terror, love, all at once. "Then come to me," he said. Maya took one step. Just one. Before the entire chamber exploded in light. A blinding surge of energy burst from the pedestals, the consoles, the walls. As if the chamber itself panicked. Hartman screamed. Angela screamed. Her brother screamed. Liam reached for her. Maya. And then, something behind the machines lurched awake. A massive steel containment door, sealed for decades, groaned and slid open. Cold air poured out. Mist. Frost. And the figure that stepped out of the darkness made Maya's blood stop. A woman. Alive. Standing. Breathing. Her face. Maya knew that face. She had seen it in photos. In memories. In herself. Angela collapsed to her knees, sobbing. Hartman's eyes widened, the only time Maya had ever seen true fear in him. And Liam whispered, "Oh my God." The woman stepped forward, eyes locked on Maya. "Maya," she said softly. "My daughter." Her mother. The real one. The woman Hartman claimed had died. She reached out. "Maya," she repeated, "come to me." And everything. Liam, Hartman, Angela, the brothers, the chamber, the pedestals, the explosions, fell away. Maya stared into the face of a mother she never thought she'd meet. Frozen. Shaking. Torn apart. What do I do?" she whispered. Her mother smiled gently. "Choose." Time stopped. The cold mist rolled across the floor. The machines flickered wildly, alarms shrieking, light strobing through the chamber like lightning. But Maya heard none of it. All she could hear was the soft, trembling voice of the woman who had just stepped through the frost. "My daughter, come to me." Her mother. Alive. Not in a photograph. Not in a whisper or memory. Not in Angela's trembling stories of a woman she once knew. Alive. Maya's legs felt numb as she took in the woman's face, the same gentle eyes, the same shape of her jaw, the same quiet strength Maya had seen in her own reflection. "Mom?" she whispered. The woman nodded, tears streaming down her cheeks like she'd waited years, decades, to say the simplest word. "Yes, Maya. It's really me." Angela was sobbing openly now, collapsing as though the ground had dropped beneath her. "No, you were gone," Angela cried, clutching her chest. "You were gone. He said, he told me, you were." Hartman Sr. stepped backward, face pale and shaken. "That containment wasn't supposed to open," he muttered. "You weren't ready. You weren't." The woman turned her gaze toward him, and in her eyes burned a fury Maya had never seen in anyone, not even Angela. You locked me away, she said quietly. For 17 years. Hartman flinched. She was unstable, he snapped. Your DNA, your condition, your emotions, they threatened everything I built. The woman took one step forward, and the temperature in the room seemed to drop another 10 degrees. What I threatened, she said, voice trembling with controlled rage, was your control. Liam, her Liam, moved instinctively in front of Maya, protective. The traitor Liam stood frozen, torn between his father and the reality unraveling before him. The injured brother stared at the woman, eyes wide with stunned recognition. Angela, still on her knees, whispered. You survived, all this time, and he kept you hidden? The woman didn't answer. Her eyes were fixed on Maya. I heard you, she said softly. Even in containment. I heard you cry as a baby. I heard when Angela held you. I heard when Hartman sent you away. I heard when you left the rose. Maya gasped. You saw me? The woman nodded with a heartbroken smile. Every year. Maya staggered, her emotions crashing like waves, love, confusion, grief, anger, hope, fear, everything she'd buried for so long bursting free. Why didn't you come to me, she cried. Why didn't you escape? Why didn't you? Her mother's smile faded. I couldn't. He built the chamber to respond to your DNA. Only your presence could open the locks. She wiped away a tear. And I didn't want you near this place. Not until you were old enough to choose. The machines hissed and sparked. Hartman regained enough composure to step forward, voice booming. She is not your choice to make. Maya is my creation. My future. My legacy. Her mother didn't even turn toward him. She is my daughter. She is my heir. She is her own person. Liam instinctively pulled Maya behind him, muscles coiled. Stay back, he warned. Whoever you are, that's a hell of a lie. It isn't a lie, the older Maya said quietly. I can prove it. She slowly raised her right hand. On her palm, a small crescent-shaped scar. The same crescent-shaped scar Maya had had since childhood. A scar her mother, Angela, had always told her was from a fall. Maya felt her breath catch painfully. How do you? Older Maya smiled sadly. You got this when you were 3. You climbed onto a chair to grab a pack of cookies from the top cabinet. Angela grabbed you before you hit the floor, but the corner of the counter cut your palm. Maya's stomach dropped. Only Angela and I knew that, Maya whispered. Liam swallowed hard, eyes darting between the two of them. Okay, he said cautiously. So you know things. That still doesn't mean you're. Older Maya stepped forward just enough for the sunlight to hit her face. And Liam froze. Because her eyes, those storm blue-gray eyes, looked exactly like Maya's when she was trying not to cry. I know you, too, Liam, the older Maya said softly. You used to hum the same 3 notes every time you were nervous. You still do. You don't realize it. Liam blinked. He was humming. Right now. Maya clutched his arm tighter. The older version of herself watched them with a mix of pain and pride. I'm not here to hurt you, she said. I'm here because everything that just happened, the chamber collapse, your mother waking up, Hartman losing control, this is only the beginning. Maya's pulse quickened. What do you mean, only the beginning? She whispered. Older Maya took a breath, steadying herself. You think you escaped the chamber, she said. But the chamber wasn't a prison. She looked up, straight at the sky, as if sensing something beyond it. It was a trigger. The air grew colder. A hush rippled through the trees. A trigger for what? Liam asked, voice low. Older Maya met their eyes, herself and Liam, and the grief in her expression was unmistakable. For everything Hartman spent his life preparing for, she said. And everything he spent his life trying to stop. Maya blinked, confused. What does that mean? He created me. He wanted me to lead. Older Maya shook her head. No. That was only half the truth. Maya's throat tightened. What's the other half? Older Maya's voice dropped. You weren't just engineered to lead, Maya. She stepped closer. You were engineered to break something. A chill ran down Maya's spine. To break what? She whispered. Older Maya hesitated, like the words themselves were dangerous. To break the world, she said quietly. Maya felt the ground tilt under her. Liam grabbed her hand. Okay, he said to the older version, you need to explain. Now. Older Maya nodded. You weren't the first engineered child, she said. You weren't even the most powerful. She looked into Maya's eyes. Until today. Maya's heart raced. Because of the chamber? Because of the choice you made inside it, older Maya said. Maya stared at her, confused. But I didn't choose anything. I didn't touch the pedestals. Everything exploded before I. Older Maya gave a bittersweet smile. Oh, Maya, you did choose. Liam stiffened. What? Older Maya nodded. Maybe not with your hands. But with your heart. The chamber responded to what you felt most strongly in that final moment. Maya's breath hitched. And what did I choose? The older version stepped forward until she was close enough for Maya to see the exhaustion lining her face. You chose, she said gently, to save everyone. Not one path. Not one group. Not one future. She touched the burned circle of symbols. This, she added, is the signature of that choice. Maya swallowed hard. But then, how did I end up here? Outside? With Liam? Older Maya exhaled shakily. The chamber read your choice. And it moved you. Moved me where? Maya asked. Older Maya's eyes darkened. To the only timeline where saving everyone is still possible. Silence. Wind rustled through the trees. Liam stepped closer to the older version. Fine, he said. Then what are we supposed to do now? Older Maya looked at him with something like heartbreak. You run, she said. You hide. You survive long enough for your mother to find you again. Maya's eyes filled with tears. She's alive? Older Maya nodded once. She is. But she's not alone. She stepped even closer, lowering her voice. And neither is Hartman. Maya flinched. He survived? Older Maya's expression hardened. Yes. And he's more dangerous now than ever. Liam clenched his fists. What does he want? Older Maya looked at Maya. Only her. You, she whispered. But not to control. Her next word sent ice through Maya's veins. To stop you. Liam stepped in front of Maya instinctively. Stop her from what? he demanded. Older Maya lifted her gaze. And for the first time since appearing, true fear flickered across her face. From fulfilling the prophecy he spent his life denying, she said. Maya's voice shook. What prophecy? Older Maya's stare locked onto hers, and Maya saw her own terror reflected back like a mirror. The prophecy of the daughter who would destroy the Hartman line, the older version whispered. And the world that allowed it. Liam inhaled sharply. Maya's knees buckled. Older Maya's final words were barely a breath. And he will kill anyone who stands between him and changing that fate. Branches suddenly snapped behind them, loud, fast, deliberate. Older Maya's eyes shot wide. No, no, he found us too soon. Liam yanked Maya back just as a dark figure burst from the trees. Tall. Shadowed. Breathing hard. Maya's stomach plummeted. The figure stepped into the light, revealing a face she never thought she'd see again. Her mother. The real one. But her expression was wrong. Hard. Cold. Eyes burning. Step away from her, Maya's mother said. Older Maya stiffened. Maya, run. Her mother raised something in her hand. A device. Small. Sharp. Glowing. Maya, her mother hissed, you don't understand, she isn't you. Older Maya shoved Liam aside. Move. The device in her mother's hand pulsed. Aimed directly at Maya's chest. Maya froze. Mom, she whispered. The real mother's voice was flat. I'm here to fix the timeline. And then the device fired. A streak of white light shot across the clearing. Straight toward Maya. Older Maya lunged. No, she screamed. The blast hit. A deafening crack split the air. Liam shouted her name. And when the smoke cleared, Maya was gone. There was no pain. No impact. No sensation at all. Just a blinding burst of white, then silence so complete it felt like falling into nothingness. And then a breath. Not hers. A ragged, choking breath from somewhere close. The world rushed back in a violent snap. Cold stone beneath her knees. Damp air. Echoes. Darkness. Maya gasped and stumbled forward, coughing as the taste of metal filled her mouth. She blinked. A single flickering fluorescent light swung overhead. She wasn't in the forest. She wasn't with Liam. She wasn't near her mother. She was somewhere else. Somewhere she recognized. The chamber. But older. Rotting. Dead. The once silver floor was corroded with rust. The glowing pedestals were shattered, wires spilling out like exposed nerves. Frost coated the control panels. Vines crawled through cracks in the walls. The facility looked like it had been abandoned for decades. Maya stumbled to her feet, heart pounding so hard she thought it would break through her ribs. What happened?" she whispered. A faint groan echoed behind her. She spun. Someone lay slumped against a broken console, a silhouette barely conscious, breathing shallowly. Her stomach flipped when she recognized the torn coat. "Liam," she called, rushing toward him. But when she reached him, her heart dropped. It wasn't her Liam. It was the other Liam. The one who had betrayed her. Hartman's Liam. But he looked older. Much older. His face was lined, streaked with dirt and exhaustion. His hair, once neatly kept, now hung over his forehead in tangled, graying strands. He opened his eyes weakly, and froze when he saw her. Maya. His voice cracked. No. No, it can't be you. Not again. She knelt beside him, confused and shaking. What happened? Where are we? What is this place? He swallowed hard. You shouldn't be here, he whispered. Not in this time. Not after the collapse. Maya's skin prickled. This time? Liam gave a weak laugh, full of bitterness. You haven't realized it yet, he rasped. The blast didn't kill you. It moved you. Her heart stuttered. Moved me where? He lifted his trembling hand and pointed around them. This is your future, he whispered. 20 years after the chamber fell. Maya felt her stomach twist. But that means, my mother, Angela, younger Liam, my brother, they. Older Liam closed his eyes in pain. They're not here, he said. None of them. Maya felt her throat tighten, tears burning behind her eyes. What happened to them? He coughed violently, body shaking. You don't want that answer, he whispered. Maya grabbed his jacket. Tell me. He looked at her, really looked at her, and something softened in his face. You disappeared, he said. And everything fell apart. Maya's breath hitched. Older Liam continued, voice fading. Hartman survived. Your mother too. But they changed. What do you mean? Maya whispered. He gulped. Hartman rebuilt his empire without you. Your mother joined him. Your older self vanished trying to stop them. The world shifted. Darkened. Everything became the thing Hartman always dreamed it would. Maya shook her head. No. No, my mother wouldn't. She did. He coughed harder. She believed without you, the timeline was collapsing. She thought helping Hartman was the only way to restore it. Maya's heart shattered. Her mother had attacked her. Her mother had fired that device. Her mother had sided with Hartman. Liam, older Liam, grabbed her wrist suddenly, his strength fading but desperate. That's why I waited here, he said. For years. Because I knew the chamber had one more jump left in it. A jump? Maya whispered. He nodded. One chance. One final tear in the timeline. And only you could activate it. Maya's skin went cold. And what am I supposed to do? He pulled a small, metallic object from his pocket and pressed it into her hand. A key. No, the key. Her mother's key. The one from the cemetery. The one that opened everything. It belongs to you, older Liam said. She stared at it, trembling. Why? He coughed again, eyes growing distant. Because you're the only one who can fix what's coming. Maya's heart raced. What's coming? His breathing slowed. The prophecy, he whispered. The one Hartman feared. The one your mother tried to prevent. The one your older self died fighting. Tears blurred Maya's vision. Tell me. Please. What prophecy? Older Liam's hand tightened weakly around hers. That the daughter of Hartman will destroy his empire, he coughed, blood at the corner of his mouth. And the world he corrupted with it. Maya felt her pulse freeze. And if I don't? Liam's eyes dimmed. Then he wins. The light flickered overhead. The air vibrated. Something activating in the depths of the facility. Older Liam shuddered. It's starting, he whispered. You have to go. Maya squeezed his hand. Come with me. He gave a faint, broken smile. My path is over, Maya. His grip loosened. Yours is just beginning. A low rumble shook the chamber. Stone cracked. Metal groaned. A bright fissure of blue light tore open behind the shattered pedestals. A portal. Raw. Unstable. Calling to her. Older Liam's final breath escaped in a whisper. Run. Maya stood, shaking. Tears streaming down her cheeks. She clutched the key in her hand, her mother's key. Her fate. Her curse. Her weapon. She looked once more at the older Liam, a man raised in Hartman's darkness. But who died trying to give her a chance. Then she ran toward the tear in reality. And stepped through it. The world dissolved. And she landed somewhere that made her blood turn to ice. A hospital room. Monitors. Screens. A single bed. And on the bed, hooked to tubes, pale as paper, was herself. But not older. Not younger. Exactly her age. Unconscious. Breathing shallow. Dying. Maya froze. What is this? Another voice spoke from behind her. Calm. Measured. Cold. This is the truth, Maya. She spun. Hartman Sr. stepped out of the shadows. Alive. Unaged. Waiting. You can't run from what you are, he said. He gestured toward the girl on the hospital bed. Her own unconscious face. You see, there aren't just two of you. He smiled. There are dozens. Maya's heart stopped. Maya stared at the unconscious girl on the hospital bed, her exact face, her exact age, down to the scar on her palm. Her knees almost buckled. Why is she here? Maya whispered. Hartman Sr. stepped forward, hands clasped behind his back like a lecturer ready to unveil his grand thesis. Because, Maya, he said, you were never one girl. His eyes glimmered with a chilling pride. You were an experiment in probability. Hundreds of versions. Each released into the world at different points. Different timelines. Different forks in the path. Maya's stomach churned. Clones, she breathed. Not clones, Hartman corrected sharply. Variations. Iterations. Predictions. He gestured to the unconscious Maya. That one was grown to lead. Another was grown to heal. Others to fight. Others to break. His smile widened. You were my symphony of possibilities. And what about me? Maya choked out. What version am I? Hartman's answer arrived instantly, without hesitation. You, he said softly, are the version that wasn't supposed to survive. The words hit her like a blow. But Hartman wasn't done. You were unpredictable. Unstable. Too empathetic. Too willful. Too human. He raised an eyebrow. You were the anomaly. The mistake. Maya's breath trembled. And yet, Hartman continued, you broke the chamber. You escaped timelines. You altered outcomes no model predicted. He stepped closer. You proved that chaos, true chaos, cannot be engineered. His voice darkened. And chaos terrifies me. Maya clenched her fists. Her mother's key dug into her palm. It grounded her. Hartman noticed. Ah, he said lightly, you found her key. I assume your mother survived long enough to give you false hope. Maya's eyes burned. You turned her against me. I redirected her, Hartman replied. She believed restoring the timeline required eliminating anomalies. A small shrug. And she believed I knew how. Maya swallowed both grief and fury. What do you want from me? Hartman motioned toward the unconscious versions. To choose, he said. The word echoed through the room. The chamber responded to your choice before, he continued. And once more, a choice is required. He pointed to a console lit by a pulsing red button. One press, he said, and every surviving version collapses into one timeline. Maya's skin prickled. You want me to pick which version lives? Hartman gave a cold, approving nod. And end this experiment once and for all. Become the definitive Maya. Her heart pounded. And the others, she whispered. Hartman didn't blink. They're probabilities. Copies. Data. Their purpose ends with your choice. Maya shook her head. No. No? Hartman repeated, as if the word belonged to another language. You said the chamber responded to me, Maya said. My heart. My empathy. My humanity. The part you tried to beat out of every version. He narrowed his eyes. You can't expect me to believe you understand what must be done. You've never understood the cost of power. Maya stepped between him and the unconscious girl on the bed. I understand more than you think, she said. Her mother's key glinted in her hand. Hartman tensed. Maya, he warned, don't. But she was already moving. Not toward the red button. Not toward Hartman. But toward the central control core of the entire facility. The heart of it all. The true chamber engine. Hartman's eyes widened. Maya, stop. She lifted the key. A key designed by her mother. A key meant to override. A key meant to end what Hartman began. And she made her final choice. Not to save one version. Not to destroy the others. Not to become the definitive Maya. But to free every version, every possibility, every life Hartman tried to script. She plunged the key into the core. The chamber erupted in a blinding burst of white. Hartman screamed, lunging toward her. But the shockwave threw him across the room. The ground trembled. Glass shattered. Lights exploded overhead. Energy surged through the unconscious Mayas, and through Maya herself. Time warped. Split. Merged. She felt thousands of memories she'd never lived, thousands of lives she'd never walked, all threading into her like stars colliding. And then... silence. The light faded. The chamber hissed one final breath. And died. When the smoke cleared, Hartman lay unconscious on the floor. The hospital bed was empty. And Maya, the only Maya now, stood alone. Her heartbeat echoed in the stillness. Footsteps approached. She spun. And froze. Liam. Her Liam. Alive. Uninjured. Eyes full of shock and relief. Maya, he whispered. She ran into his arms before she even realized she was moving. He held her tightly, trembling. I thought I lost you, he breathed. You didn't, she whispered back. I found all of me. When they finally pulled apart, Liam looked around at the darkened facility. Is it over? He asked. Maya stared at the dead chamber, the melted consoles, the lifeless monitors. She thought of the rose on Elias Hartman's grave. The grave that began everything. The grave that wasn't forgotten anymore. She took Liam's hand, the key still warm in her palm. It's over, she said. But the world Hartman built, the damage he did, she looked toward the exit, where daylight streamed faintly in. We're just getting started. They stepped out of the ruin together. Into a future that finally belonged to them. Behind them, the chamber flickered one last time. A single spark. Then darkness.